This 72-metre Tankoa yacht is the largest boat at Palm Beach Boat Show, and in this video I'm going to give you a full tour. She was thoroughly refitted in 2023 and she's got some seriously cool features, including 3 hot tubs, a beach club with sauna and gym, a helipad, drop-down balconies and a private owner's deck. I think she's one of the most interesting yachts we've had on the channel. Watch the tour and let me know in the comments below if you agree. I'm Jack Haines, welcome to YachtBuyer. Casino Royale is currently for sale with Thompson of Monaco. We'll put a link to the brokerage page in the pinned comment. Right, let's get on with the tour. We're aft on the upper deck now. As you can see at the moment, it's set out as a place to catch the sun in these cabanas, but all 3 of these can be removed and this area also acts as a touch and go helipad. Moving forward, there's one of the 3 hot tubs on board. It's a really beautiful shape as well. It's not just plonked there in the middle. It's got this beautiful moulding around the side, and there are a couple of sun lounges either side as well, so people can take in the sun while people are enjoying the hot tub. Then further forward, you've got this great bar area. Obviously underneath there's lots of cooling space and storage, but this is nice because you have the 4 chairs there and they're looking back over the boat, and again, can interact with those people who are enjoying the hot tub. Moving around here in the shade, there's a lovely comfortable little sofa in this corner. Behind that we have a little patch of grass so our 4-legged friends can do their business in private. Over here, a more intimate table, somewhere for a nice quiet drink, play some cards, something like that. Over there, there's a really good day head as well, with a shower. Important, of course, if people come out of the hot tub, they can shower off really conveniently through that door. And you may have noticed this keypad up here on the bulkhead. We're going to come to that in a moment. Before we do, let's head up these steps to the sun deck. This then is the highest point of the boat. It gives you fabulous views. It also catches the breeze beautifully on a hot day like this. This big mast is a central piece of this area. Obviously it's got all the navigation equipment married to it, but this is also a very nice area to relax as well. Big sweep of seating around a table here, a couple of lovely sun pads, yet more shade from this canopy with the poles that slot into the deck. And you've noticed we've also got Starlink on board, so internet connectivity for the little ones will never be an issue. But there's some clever stuff going on inside the mast as well. On that side there's a hatch into a technical locker. On this side, if I pop this door open, there's yet another very conveniently located shower space. Right, let's head downstairs and find out what that keypad's all about. The reason this keypad is here is because this is where we arrive at the owner's private quarters. So this could be keypad locked so that only the owner can get in there. Fortunately, it's not activated today, so we can head inside. From the aft end of the deck, the first place you arrive at is the owner's study. This is a beautiful space, quiet, very private of course, and what a view from that desk as well. A really lovely place to do some work. There's a day head here, and this whole section can also be cut off from the rest of the cabin from a pocket door here. There's a stairway down here to the deck below. There's also an elevator, which I'm going to have a go in later on. And then pushing further forward, we are into the heart of the cabin space now. I'll just duck inside here because this is another lovely study area, but there's huge amounts of storage behind too. But this cabin loops all the way around, so let's carry on forward, shall we? As part of the refit, what used to be a storage cupboard is now a private shower room. It's the first of many bathroom appliances inside this cabin. And then this is the heart of it. This is the bedroom, and it is absolutely spectacular. The views are glorious. You've got wraparound glass, 270-degree views. There's glass overhead as well. We've got the blinds in place at the moment, but you can open those up again to get more natural light coming in. And then what is really lovely is this totally private hot tub. This deck is cut off on the outside. You can get out through the side doors here, but you can't get round. So this is genuinely totally private for the owner. We've got some storage here on this side, and then you're into a walk-in wardrobe, another bureau space, loads and loads of storage for the owner's clothes if they're on board for long extended periods. But this is all beautifully arranged, and they've really made the most of the elevator position of this deck. Again, the views from all over this deck are just spectacular. No more so than here in the ensuite bathroom, where you have his and hers toilets, twin sinks, a large separate shower cubicle with probably the biggest rain shower head I've ever seen. And then look at this bath. The materials are gorgeous, marble underfoot, absolutely beautiful marble here that all of the taps are placed into and the controls for the bath. And again, it's all about this view. The bath is very low. You've got the almost floor to ceiling windows, and what a vista to have a soak at the end of the day. Out of the elevator then, and onto the bridge deck. This actually links down to the deck below as well and goes up to the owner's deck. You're not on a proper super yacht until you've got a lift on board. First, as we are on the bridge deck, I think we should head forward and have a look at the bridge. Before we get there though, I want to show you this area here, because this is currently set up as a spa suite. Now it can be a cabin as well, it has an ensuite bathroom, but in this, guys, it's a very, very nice wellness suite where you can have a massage, some treatments, and then right forward is where we get to both the bridge, but before that, the captain's cabin. Majority of the crew live lower down on the yacht, but the captain has this very nice double cabin up here right behind the bridge with a private bathroom, a little study area, storage. It's a lovely space and yeah, lovely view as well. Talking of great views, let's head into the bridge itself. There's a little office area here on the starboard side, and we'll just look at all these screens, all this stuff to press. We are in the realms of ship-style helms at this size, and you've got these 8 upright screens, a couple of screens mounted flat in the dash, all with the Bonning vessel monitoring system, so there's full control of all of the ship systems from these screens here. Twin throttles, of course, because it's a twin engine yacht, autopilot controls, thruster controls, and it's a bit of a shame that yachts of this size, you don't really use the wheel, because this one is absolutely beautiful. Wooden rim, really dinky, backed with metal, feels lovely in the hands. Now, performance. With its pair of 2,480 horsepower Caterpillar engines, Casino Royale will top out at 17.5 knots. But most impressive is her range. Thanks to an efficient hull shape and a fuel capacity of 178,000 litres, she can cover 7,700 nautical miles at 10 knots. And that's enough to cross the Atlantic twice. The rest of the bridge then is handed over to these very comfortable sofas. There's one on that side, this one here, and it means that of course crew can sit here and be on watch and keep the skipper company, but also passengers can do the same and come and enjoy the ride from up here. Right, let's go and explore the rest of this deck. We're heading back through this foyer now. The elevator's just there and another staircase down to the deck below. This is crew access. Obviously the galley, the main crew, is right down in the boat, but they've got pantries on most levels so they can serve guests easily. And there's a day head just there. Pushing right back, we arrive at this fabulous bridge deck saloon. This is wonderful. You can see it's set up as a bit of a cinema room. Comfy recliners here with cup holders and storage in the armrest so you can sit with your drink by your side. Huge TV screen, and they have brightened up the decor as part of the refit. It's still quite a sort of dark decor. However, up here, because the windows are so big, you still get good natural light, and obviously the artificial lighting is fabulous. And there's a lovely little fireplace that you can get some flames flickering along there to set the mood in the evening, and I love the beautiful Bond detail. This motif is picked out all over the yacht. It's really, really cool. And then moving aft here, you have this more intimate dining table, beautiful marble top on this, and the marble bar is a gorgeous feature too. All this backlighting here and on this side as well. Lovely place for the crew to be able to dispense drinks for the people enjoying this area. And we head out there, we're on bridge deck aft. Heading out to bridge deck aft, the first thing you have is a very nice comfortable seating area here, nice and protected, shaded, nice place to chill out away from the sun. And this is where guests are going to have the majority of their meals, be that breakfast, lunch or dinner. Set up for 10 at the moment, but there's more than enough space to sit 12 people around here. And it's great because it's out in the open, but it's also well protected. The views are great, but if the weather's not so good, you can still eat out here perfectly comfortably. And you've got these nice relaxing sofas at this end as well to catch some sun or just relax after a meal too. Storage on both sides for the crew to store crockery, that sort of thing, so it's very nice and close to the table. And then it wraps all the way around, and again, we've all mentioned we've got this lovely, comfortable seating area as well. This is a deck that works very, very well indeed. Before we head downstairs and check out the deck below, let's head up to the foredeck. There are a few different ways that you can access the foredeck on Casino Royale. There are these passageways on either side that link to the main deck. These are the ones that guests would use. But on both sides you have these doors into the bridge as well, so the crew can pop out very easily to this area. I mentioned the wing stations earlier on. There's one on this side, it's under a cover at the moment, and there's one on that side as well. But this is a fabulous area here. I really like these spaces. First of all, when the boat's moving along, this is a great place to sit and enjoy the ride, but also if you're in a very busy port with other super yachts around you, people are sitting aft, you can sit forward and you haven't got sort of people looking over you. It's much more private up here. But this is where the fun stuff is. If you like big bits of engineering, well, look at the deck gear on this thing. It's always remarkable on yachts of this side, the scale of the stuff you need on deck to run it. These huge anchor windlasses, twin anchors of course, the size of the cleats on either side. They're not really cleats when they're that big, but it's all pretty remarkable. And then there is a tender garage elsewhere, which we're going to have a look at, but this is where some of the jet skis live. 3 of them lined up in this area, and there's a crane that can drop them into the water and then pick them back out again. These are the very wide passageways that I was talking about. Makes it very easy for guests to travel from the forward end of the boat to the aft end of the boat. And of course, this main deck aft area is the first place you're going to see when you come on board as a guest. The passerelle on that side, and it sets a fabulous tone because look at the size of this tub here. It's in a great position. It's very large. I love the symmetry of it with the sofas on either side as well. Nice easy staircase up and down into the water, and it's all glass as well, so you really get to see the water backlit at night. That will look absolutely fabulous. And I come back to just the size of some of the deck equipment on board a yacht like this. Look at these winches, these bollards, the fair leads. It's truly gigantic. And one of the most interesting things about the design of this yacht is where you might expect to have some sliding doors back here to enter the main deck saloon, you just have solid glass. You actually enter the saloon from a pair of side doors on the side decks, and I'll explain why that works so well when we head inside. Now the reason this works so well is because ordinarily if you've got doors back here, this is just a thoroughfare, but because this is all sealed off with the glass, you've got a lovely panorama. It also means you can make it into a seating area. Comfortable place to sit and relax, wait for the tender maybe, especially when the weather's not so good. Works fabulously. And it's served by this bar area here, and then through these sliding glass doors you have access to this fabulous lounge area. There's some beautiful artwork in this area. Fabulously soft carpet, and of course the big television as well, so you can watch a film back here. This is the main internal dining area. The decor, I'm sure on camera, still looks quite dark, but they have brightened it up a lot. They've tripled the amount of lighting across the boat. They've also added the chandeliers, so lighting is plentiful. You've still got some natural light pouring in from the windows on either side, and the artwork really pops as well. Bright artwork really stands out, and the darker surroundings of the rest of the interior. It is absolutely stunning. Another interesting thing about the design of this yacht is that the guest cabins are all on the main deck. So let's head forward and have a look at those. Moving forward down this passageway, this is what links between that living area and the guest accommodation. There's a day head here on the starboard side, and then we're back into the lobby area where you find the elevator again, and this is a sliding door that leads out onto the side deck, and there's steps there straight up to the foredeck, so you don't have to go all the way aft to get out to the side decks, and a run of internal stairs that obviously lead up to the deck above. And then through this passageway, this is all guest cabins. There's 5 in total, and these 2 are identical, so we'll just step inside to this starboard one so I can show you what it looks like. There is a VIP right forward, but you know, this is a beautiful cabin, mirrored on the other side as I've said. Big storage area over on this side, and plenty of floor space, and you know, towering headroom as you might expect. TVs mounted up in the bulkhead here, and they've all got their own beautifully finished private bathrooms. There's another pair of cabins if we head forward. The interesting thing about these is that you can actually split the berths up. They're set up as doubles at the moment, but for charter it's very good that if you want to, because these are mounted on runners, you can slide them apart to make them into a pair of twins if you prefer. Obviously you can have them set up like the cabins over there if you want. They make lovely doubles in their own right. But when it comes to guest cabins, the place you really want to be is here inside the VIP. This is beautiful. It's a huge space, very, very generous footprint on this. Lovely big king-size bed, even bigger TV, and the detailing is gorgeous. I love the way that this leather countertop rises up to create a bureau at the other end. There's masses of storage in this cabin, as you might well expect, and this is a good example of the artwork really popping. This beautiful piece of art up here on the wall, it really jumps out when everything else is so toned down. And the final thing to look at is a really impressive private bathroom area. You have a bath in this cabin as well, which is a really nice treat for a VIP cabin. Separate shower cubicle, and then a toilet in there with twin sinks opposite. Pretty special place to stay. The other really nice thing about this area at the aft end of the main deck is there's a direct staircase into the beach club, which has got a gym and a sauna. The marble throughout this yacht is absolutely beautiful, but it works so well how it sort of spreads out and introduces you down into this beach club area, and what a beach club it is. Starting over on this side, you find a steam room and a sauna. It's absolutely huge. It smells absolutely amazing in here. It's also got a drop down balcony. You can slide this door across and you can drop down the balcony if you want to get the views. It's absolutely wonderful. Let's check out the gym. The gym is really nicely kitted out. You've got a running machine here, weights machine, free weights over in the corner. And again, it has a drop down balcony. It'd be really nice to be working out, not only with a view, but with a bit of fresh air coming in when you're getting your pump on. And then moving through the rest of the beach club, bar area here, nice seating area where guests can come in and relax after a swim. There's a TV up here as well. And these sliding doors pull apart and then you're out onto the bathing platform. And a feature that I really like is we have a couple of skylights here that are letting in light that's coming in through the pool. Beautiful detail. There's space inside this tender garage for 2 of these rib tenders. I'll talk more about these particular boats in a moment, but just so you're aware of how they actually get these in and out of a garage like this. This is a crane above my head here. You can see the connection point. They'll roll this along, connect it to a loop on board the boat, and then it's lifted up out of the chocks. This one's got its garage door down there, so that pops open and the whole thing slides out and the boat is dropped down into the water. You'll see the console is dropped down on the rib as well. That's how they can get such a low air draft to fit it in a garage like this. I mean, headroom is okay. You see, I can stand up in here, no problem, but you've still got to get a boat in there. In the middle, we've got all the water sports paraphernalia for guests to have fun out on the water. And yeah, I thought we'd have a bit of a closer look at the rib itself, because you know this is a fantastic piece of kit all in its own right. Very much specified for passenger carrying, as you might expect. So seating all the way around the bow, seating here, back-to-back seating. Obviously, this is the helm seat for the crew member who's driving it to use. You see, you've got these teak treads as well. So this is where guests will be stepping on and off either from the boat or the quayside. And this one looks to be single stern drive with a Volvo Penta, probably will be diesel engine, so it can use the same fuel as the yacht. So it'll be super manoeuvrable, pretty quiet, very good agile handling. Yeah, the perfect boat to run guests around, and you've got 2 of them as well. Right viewers, settle in, because this machinery space really is quite something and there's a lot to show you. We'll start here in the control room. It's a 2-tier engine room, but this control room sits here on the top level, and this is where the engineers, there are 3 engineers on board Casino Royale, can see everything they need to do with the running of the yacht. You've got all the manual switching behind me, all the digital switching in front of me, obviously a great view out over the engine room as well, way to communicate with each other, and just lots of buttons that I really want to press but I'm not allowed to. Interesting to see that there's repeaters for the throttles here as well, so the engineers have got control of engine power from down here if they do need to do that. But let's press on, because as I said, there's a lot to show you. And in this top tier of the engine room, what really stands out is this eco spray system, not only because it's a fabulous looking piece of machinery, this highly polished metal, but it's also designed to remove up to 80% of the nitrous oxide emitted by the exhausts actively when the boat is running along. It sprays into the exhaust gases a solution including urea, and that nullifies a big proportion of the amount of nitrous oxide that is produced. And if we drop down this tier, we will get to the engines themselves. Well, this is the level the engines are on then, and the sheer size of this space is just breathtaking. It really is. We move aft. Here we have the oil filtration system. You have a tank for dirty oil, you have a tank for clean oil as well. That's all centrally located. What I really want to show you though is the size of one of the 2 main generators. Just look at the size of these things. You could live inside these insulated cases. They're over 200 kilowatts each. There's 2 main ones. There's a 3rd smaller one which they can use in port when the load is lower, and there's also an emergency backup generator too. These are urea tanks as part of that solution I was talking about that's used to reduce the amount of nitrous oxide. And here you can really get a good look at the engine, the size of the cylinders, the size of all of it, the scale of it is pretty amazing. Pre-filters down here, and you can switch across between those if one of them becomes blocked. And there are 2 sets of fin stabilizers, Naiad stabilizers on board the yacht. There's an access panel down there, and they're all in their own separate compartments, so if there's a leak, it's all contained and doesn't spill out into the engine room. Let's keep moving around. Let's talk about fuel, shall we? There's obviously bunker tanks and day tanks. There's a sight gauge on the day tank behind me, so you can use your eye to check the levels of the fuel there. And this is the fuel separator fuel polishing system. So everything that comes from the bunker tanks into the day tanks, which feed the engines, goes through these polishers, so the fuel is as clean as possible. But there was more to show you, so let's head through this door forward. Through this watertight door, this area is split. On one side we have all of the air conditioning units pumping cool air around the boat, so all the guest cabins, crew cabins, everything is controlled from down here. And over on this side, this is refuse management. So we've got a glass crusher, there's a tin compactor down over this side, and behind the camera there's a trash compactor. And these fridges, well, these are to keep your rubbish fresh. That's the most super yacht thing I think I've ever heard. But it does make sense, because if you're on board for a very long time, you want to make sure that the rubbish isn't smelling, so you can keep it fresh in the fridges. And looking after refuse on a yacht this size, where you produce a lot of rubbish, is really important. All of this stuff really helps with looking after it. Right, onwards. We're out of the machinery spaces now. This is a dry storage area. You can see loads of spare parts for the engines up here, and there's a big dry storage unit over on that side. This is also where we find the laundry room. It's locked at the moment, but we can just have a little look. Yeah, the machine's all wearing away, looking after linens, guest clothes, that sort of thing. The equipment levels are remarkable. Forward on this deck, past 2 walk-in fridges, you finish in the pump room, where amongst other equipment, there are 2 water makers capable of producing 20,000 litres of fresh water per day. Right, I know you all love to see the crew spaces. I know we can't access every cabin. They've very generously opened a few of them so we can have a look to show you the typical accommodation for crew on board Casino Royale. So this is a single cabin, and you've got a separate bathroom here as well. There are 17 crew on board, so there are plenty of crew cabins, and there's a few different layouts depending on the style of cabin. So if we just work down this very long passageway, I mean, it's remarkable how long the crew passageway is. It just goes to show how much crew accommodation you need on a yacht of this size. But if we duck into this door, we've got a typical bunk cabin. So a pair of bunk beds, then you have a little office space down here, and a separate bathroom, of course, storage all lined up down this side. And then we can also show you an example of one of the officers' cabins. Obviously the captain's cabin is up by the bridge, but this is an officer's cabin. So again, private bathroom in there, slightly more space in here, a bigger desk area, storage above, and then a decent single berth. Good amount of space around it as well. They get nice natural light, and the window's open, so there's a bit of breeze coming in. Storage over there as well. But yeah, this is a nice, spacious cabin. And of course, a part of this deck, it's not only sleeping spaces that the crew require, it's a mess area, somewhere they can socialise, somewhere they can eat, and have some quiet time when they want a break. And on Casino Royale, this is the crew mess. It's a big space. Twin dinettes, lots of storage space, TV down here as well. This is where the crew live when they're not on duty. It is their home. You can see all the personal effects around. It's very kind of them to let us down here, to be honest. They're a wonderful crew on board Casino Royale, so thank you so much for giving us this great access. They have a small sort of kitchen area for themselves, but then through here you have, this is the galley. This is where the chef is going to cook up all the food for the crew, but obviously for the guests as well. I mean, this is commercial level stuff. Way above my grade in terms of what this equipment actually does, but it's certainly a serious environment. It's a big space too. You may have a chef, a sous chef working together in here, so they can move around really easily. It is a full-time, very, very tough job cooking for both crew and guests, so they need a good space to be able to do that. What stands out aboard Casino Royale? Well, what doesn't stand out? She is a yacht that's got it all. The refit has brightened up and modernised that Art Deco interior, and in terms of the guest experience, she is outstanding. With the beach club, the wellness suite, gym and sauna, the amount of water toys, you can have fun in the water as well. But for me, the true standout feature, the private owner's deck. Whether you're the owner or a lead charter guest, knowing that you can retire there at the end of the day, that's special. But what do you think? Do you disagree with me? What is your favourite part of Casino Royale? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks very much for watching that tour of Casino Royale. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give the video a like. And if you'd like to watch another video of a yacht with a James Bond theme, we toured the Westport Quantum of Solace, and I put that up there. If you want a really big super yacht, we've done Phoenix 2 at Monaco. I put that down there. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, we'd appreciate it. You can do that by tapping up there. Thanks again for watching. I'm Jack Haines, and this is YachtBuyer.